What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast.
If you want to be successful, look inside.
We don't like sitting in the discomfort.
Then all of a sudden that day came when I got $20 and 2 free drinks to do a show, and I was like, oh shit, here we go, baby. You know?
Thank God she hasn't caught a chicken yet, because she'll tear his head off.
Don't be soft.
That patience is key.
If all my friends are winning, then it's going to make me want to win more.
Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man. Didn't think that we're going to come to this, but we're here. Guys, it's a tough one, but it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. So that's what's most important. That's at the end of the day, that's what's going to count. But guys, obviously this is going to be our last solo pod. We just want to take a moment and, obviously come on here and wish some good farewells. And obviously, I'm going to do less of the talking and give Josh the floor. But, I always love you, man, no matter what.
Love you too, brother. Been a long road with you, that's for sure. But something, like you said, it's got to be done. For those of you who are just listening to this podcast, I'm going to be taking a step away, right? And having my shoes filled by an amazing person. I'll let Anthony take that over in a future podcast, but I'm going to be stepping away from the Sweat It Out podcast in order to move back to upstate New York with my girlfriend. We have some pretty exciting stuff going on in our lives. So I want to be able to take care of that and focus on my future family, and kind of see what the future holds in other areas, especially with my business and being back with family. So
totally. And I think at the end of the day, your heart is always going to be here no matter what. So, it started with us, and no matter what, we hold that, those memories. And what is it, a year and a few months of grinding it, crushing it, bringing some amazing guests on, bringing some powerhouses, dropping some value, and being able to share, the stage with you, man, side by side, and, learning from you, learning from others, applying some of the things that, some of these great guests have taught us, and we've been able to apply for our businesses and for our families and for ourselves, and, been able to see this journey, something we talked about, years ago that we wanted to start. And, we said, hey, COVID's around, let's make this shit happen. And we did it. We started it. And, again, obviously, didn't think and didn't want this to happen, but it's for all the best reasons. And, obviously, bro, I wish you the best with your endeavors. No matter what, we're always going to be brothers, hanging out, talking, and I'm always going to be here to support you and your family. So, no matter what, that's what's most important, man.
I appreciate that, and you and I have obviously had a lot of conversations off the podcast about, what's going on in my future and what's going on in your future. I'm definitely going to be sharing more on my social media channels moving forward. But, I want to thank you, number one, for the hard work that you've been putting in, to be able to get this podcast to where it's been, and to be able to bring on the people that we've been able to bring on and learn from them and learn about their processes. Obviously, you become a brother to me over the past 2 years, really, right? Like from even before we started the podcast to now, to be able to learn a lot more about even you and the way that you work, and to be able to see the things that you do behind the scenes really inspired me to be able to, move forward into this next chapter of my life and take it from there.
That's what makes me happy to hear, man. And again, it goes back to that brotherhood, man, and being able to help each other out and push ourselves to the next limits, and just be able to do great things. And no matter what, at the end of the day, certain things have to be done, right? Certain things have to be done in order to enter a new chapter in our life. And honestly, I think I just want to take this moment, man, and kind of ask you, what have been some of your favorite memories, or some of your favorite podcasts that we've done together, starting from the beginning?
It's a great question, for sure. A lot of the best memories are, things that didn't even occur on the podcast with you, right? Like all back and forth that we've had, the good and the bad, you know, most importantly, like number one, building out the studio, right? That was like a really cool thing to
building the couch
that I broke in like 30 seconds, the first 30 seconds we had it. You know, that, I mean, just the whole process was like really cool because you and I have been talking about doing this for years, you know, and I know we've talked about it on the podcast before, but to be able to actually bring it to life and to be able to see the type of growth that we had, you know, is tremendous. And to bring on a lot of the people that we brought on, I mean, like, you know, we grew up watching Brian Urlacher and Ricky Williams play football, and then we're able to have them on our podcast.
Crazy.
You know, Full House was one of my favorite shows of all time. We bring Dave Coulier on. Yeah. Obviously, being in fitness and doing the unconventional stuff that we do, MMA, like Tim Kennedy, right?
Yeah.
Christine Hassler, I've been a huge fan of her podcast for years, especially during the ups and downs in my own relationship. So be able to talk to her and to, you know, allow her to use us as guinea pigs was really cool. And, you know, but the best ones are the solo ones that we've done by ourselves, man. I think that, you know, without a doubt, just the connection that you and I have and the brotherhood that you and I have and the camaraderie that we have, you know, it definitely has brought a ton of big chemistry on. And I know in the future, not only now, but in the future, you're definitely going to come visit me. I mean, I know you were just down here in Puerto Rico not too long ago and had a good time for the time that you were here. And I hope that you're going to come up to upstate New York and come watch a Syracuse basketball and football game.
Hell yeah. You know that's happening. Hell yeah, you know that's happening. 100%.
I don't think you're ready for that cold, though, man. You say that you are, but, you know.
I like it, man. I like it. I don't know if living in it, but I like it. Visiting, I like it. But living in it, hell no, man. I just don't like the pain in the ass of having to take off all these coats in and out of the house. Your car's, you have to shovel the shit out of it. I don't want that. I don't want that.
Car starter, man. Do you even know what a car starter is?
But you do. Oh, man.
What about you, man? What are some of the favorite things that you've had over the past year and a half?
I gotta say, man, you know, definitely going back, you know, I was talking, I love the first solo pods that we did when we were just doing those first, 24, 25 podcasts on our own, and just seeing the development from there to where we, you know, had it today. I thought it's amazing. You know, I thought it was super cool, you know, sharing some of those, you know, personal stuff, experiences, stuff with the development work, stories from when we used to work at Equinox, and, you know, some of the crazy shit we used to say on there. Oh my God. I remember even Stella in the back crying in some of the podcasts, and you can hear like in the back muzzled out a little bit, and we're like, oh shit, did we run it again? And we're like, never mind. So dude, just seeing the growth, man. And then from, you know, stepping into the office and I ever think we're going to have an office to being in an office and then setting it up, that experience, and like just us being like, damn, we have a fucking office. You know what I mean? And just putting up all the cool shit that we have in here. And, you know, then to first recording our first podcast guest, which was in person, you know, I thought that was super cool, being able to see like the difference between doing something where me and you were just on a freaking phone. Like we weren't even doing video. Like we were just on our phones, like that audio only. And then we went from literally to in person with video and audio, you know? So I thought that experience was really cool. And just seeing like, you know, the level of growth that we both had, like from like, all right, what do we say? Like, how do we go about this? Like, are we saying the right things? To like, yo, let's just talk. Like, we're just talking. Let's just have a good time. Like, we're just flowing, man. Like, dude, it's been incredible, man. Like, and again, like the opportunities, right? The networking, the people that we've met, you know, the people we've associated ourselves with, the shit that we've learned. Like, I think it's just the opportunities have been amazing more than anything. I think we can both say, like, we went through a whole year and a half practically of building a huge network list of amazing, beautiful people doing amazing things that we can say, man, like, we can't believe we're part of their circle now, that we're part of that family, we're part of their journey, you know. And being able to just constantly, you know, remind ourselves, you know, some people don't even have these opportunities, and, you know, I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful we've been able to do this together.
Yeah, I can say the same, man. I mean, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for you. You know that. So
I appreciate it.
I'm really excited to see what the future holds for you, the podcast, you know, everything that you're doing with your personal business, and, you know, bringing on a new co-host from time to time. I'm pretty excited to see, you know, where the future holds.
Totally, man. Totally. Now, I do want to say, I do want to bring it up because I feel like since we have to do it, we have to mention, just because, you know, before you leave, and it's especially your guy. But let's give a shout out to our biggest supporter, man. Who's our biggest supporter? Name our biggest supporter on our last solo pod. Come on.
Man, I mean, there's a lot of them, right? There's a lot of them, but I mean, I would like to name out two, right? Number one, our boy James, the guy behind the scenes, along with Kirsten, right? Number one, Kirsten, she's there helping with the video. Two, James, because he's helping us with the text copy, all the descriptions that you guys read when you guys are learning about the podcast before you listen to it, James. And number three, our boy Randy.
Can't forget about Randy wasn't expecting us to give him a shout out on our podcast. We had to do it, man. We had to do it. We kept saying, we're like, bro, one day, remember me, you, Chris, we're like, we got to give Randy a shout out. We got to give Randy a shout. That guy, man. No better
time than now. The legend himself.
I had to, man, Randy, thank me later, bro. I remembered you, baby. The legend himself. But no, man, it's amazing to see. And just, just mentioning him, there's so many others that have been great supporters of ours, showing love day in and day out, downloading our episodes, giving us feedback, actually listening to it and saying, man, we're applying the things that we've learned on here. I think that's another beautiful part, man. Like it's so good when you can see that the work you're doing, people are actually utilizing and applying, what they're listening to into their personal lives, their businesses, their relationships. And I think that goes to say something, man. I think it goes to say that without you knowing, like, man, we're creating impact, dude. We're creating some massive impact, and I can totally say that within this year and a half, we've done some obviously impact for ourselves, but we've given a lot of impact for others, and we've provided a platform people can come and learn and apply and grow.
I completely agree, man. I mean, it's such an honor to be able to have the platform that we have, right? To be able to speak our mind and tell people what we believe is true, and not only what we believe is true, but give them a little insight into our personal lives and our experiences and how those shaped us and the way that we actually think. And to know that not only resonates with people, but also helps them in a beneficial way in their own life, is something that I'm going to be able to hold on to forever. And, to be able to do that with you makes it even better.
Appreciate it, man. And Josh, through this transition of, obviously of us going back and forth, figuring out what's the best way to approach this, I don't want to call it situation, but this pivot in our podcast, like, what was it that, or how is it that you're approaching it now? And like, what are the biggest things that run through your head, now as we move on, and obviously from the podcast, but we continue as brothers. And what is the biggest thing that runs through your head, man?
I mean, number one, like, I know the podcast is in good hands with you, Kirsten, everyone that's going to be, taking over from here. That I have no doubt with, right? Two, I'm glad that, even though we have to kind of go our separate ways with the podcast, you and I are going to stay super close.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that'll last forever, and I know that for a fact. So really happy about that the bond that we've been able to create isn't going to be broken just because, we have to go our separate ways when it comes to business and the podcast in itself, right? And, I'm just really excited for you and what you're going to be able to do with this moving forward. And for myself, it's been a long time since I've been around my family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that's important for you.
Over 8 years. And, with my sister graduating college now, like, I was really worried that I wasn't going to really be able to go up there and spend a lot of time with her before she moves into this next chapter of her life. My mother, is not getting any younger. So being able to spend a lot more time with her, and then, be with my girlfriend's family. I never really got the opportunity because, we started dating in Miami, be around her family and allow them to get to know me on a deeper level. So, to be around them and, be really close to them in terms of like our vicinity and be able to foster a better relationship with them is really something I'm looking forward to.
Amazing, man. Amazing. And that's why I'm saying, like, in certain things, you have to make certain decisions, that are going to best support your future. Right. So, at the end of the day, man, we know that you're leaving with good reasons. You're leaving with a good heart. You're leaving with good intentions. It's not something that just happened. It's something that's been in the talks for a bit, and it's something that we obviously, came together, and we wanted to definitely do this and share it with our audience and let them know properly, what was going to be happening. But we want to make sure that, you know, they continue to support you. They continue to support me. They continue to get value from both of us in our own separate ways, our own separate businesses and journeys. And at the end of the day, this does not mean that, you know, me and Josh are not going to ever jump in and do a segment or two through podcasts or through IG Lives or through somewhere that's going to be similar to this. So this does not mean that me and Josh are going to be completely gone from ever having deep conversations with ourselves or with,
who said I was going to do
anybody.
any of that stuff with you?
Look at you talking shit already.
Yeah, I had it one last time, you know?
Oh man, I love you, bro. Look, man, at the end of the day, dude, it's I'm just excited for everything that's gonna, you know, come out of this. I know it's gonna be a good positive reason, and I'm happy for you, man, your family, and I know you've wanted this. I know that this is something that's been important for you, and I know that everybody on the Sweater Out audience is gonna support you, watch your journey, see where you grow, see where everything's going for you. And I know I'm gonna be there side by side. I'll be visiting you in New York, watching those Q's games. Let's see if UM can snag a win. I don't know. You know, Q's usually always beats UM, but yeah, yeah, I know. Especially
we'll get you up there in the cold, man. We'll get you up there in the cold for sure.
No, I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
I'll have to get you a big jacket, big Canada Goose jacket though. There's no way that Cuban blood is gonna.
I can't come in with my open shirt. It'll be too cold. Too cold.
Nah, bring a couple extra coladas. You'll need it.
A few little coladas. No iced coffee. You know I love iced coffee.
Sarah and I were just talking. We're like, man, I mean, like, it's gonna be weird, you know, being in a place where it's all American food, where like you can't get any Latin food anywhere, you know, other than like, you know, fake Mexican. So
yeah, because you went from Miami to Puerto Rico, from Latin to even more Latin to now like whoop, American.
It was a decade, dude, where I'm not going to be like, I'm going to have nowhere to go get an empanada or like a cafe con leche. You know, I'm going to be like, oh, can I get a coffee with milk? They're going to be like, let me get. Okay.
Bro, I don't know. You might end up coming back to Miami.
I don't think so.
I'm
man.
just messing with you.
You know,
Nah, don't worry. Once
you when I retire,
that's it. When you're fully loaded, you buy some property out here.
Listen, once you get that private jet, you know, you can fly up to Syracuse, come pick us up. We'll come down for a week.
That's it. I'll do that just for you guys. Bro, man, I love you, dude. And you know, again, it doesn't stop here either. You know, like I said, you know, we're gonna still obviously we're gonna still stay in contact. We're gonna still be doing this stuff, shooting the shit. I'll be visiting you. I know you'll be visiting me. And the tables have turned now, man. You're in the hot seat. So I got some few burn around questions for you.
Do it.
All right, question number 1. What has been your favorite experience so far in Puerto Rico?
Ooh. I mean, my favorite experience, I'll have to leave that for this announcement that I got coming up on my social media. But my second favorite one for sure would be, you know, having you guys down here. You know, you and Brian down here was great, man.
I appreciate it.
You know, showing you guys around the island a little bit, taking you guys on some pretty badass hikes, and you know, seeing you try to use that GoPro was pretty
woo. No, me and Brian, we were talking about it the other day. We appreciate you guys having us up there, and dude, just seeing the beauty of the areas you took us, man, the Puerto Rico, and you know, being up there in the mountains, climbing through those hikes, and you know, getting to go through those beaches. That was amazing, man. So we appreciate you, man. That was definitely probably one of the best experience we've had this year, as well. So really appreciate that. All right, question number 2. What was your most memorable moment on the podcast?
Most memorable moment.
Could be funny, educational, doesn't matter.
I mean, there's so many, to be honest, but you know, I really liked having all the people in the studio. You know, the one with Craig Ballantyne was so great.
Yeah.
You know, just Craig's such an amazing human being, and you know, to have him there in person in the studio and be able to pick his brain. I mean, obviously, he's one of the most successful people in fitness and now in business, right? And deservedly so. You know, so just having him in studio and be able to, you know, connect with him was great.
Love it. All right, now I gotta ask, what's been the most awkward moment on the podcast?
When we started talking about how people hit me up about my feet all the time. You're listening, do not DM me about my feet. Do not.
Guys, unfortunately, they don't do OnlyFans like that anymore, okay?
No, they went back to it, though.
They went back? So now they flipped back? Motherfuckers. They're like, we lost about $1 billion. All right, we're going back.
That market share went down.
Yep. They're like, F it. We're going to go back into the portal. All right. So I guess you could DM Josh about his feet then. All right. Next question. I got 2 more. What has been your craziest and wildest experience ever?
Ooh. You mean other than going to the AVN Awards? No.
That was pretty crazy. The AVN Awards, that was pretty wild.
I was going to the AVN Awards. That was interesting.
Yeah. Which was your favorite award?
Too many. All of them.
Too many.
All of them. Never again, though. One time and never again.
Oh, man. Well, you were laughing. Everybody was serious.
I was so high, though. So, could have done. The thing that sucked the most, though, was like having to walk down that red carpet. It took like 4 hours. I was like, can we sit down already? Like,
oh, my God. I love it. All right. Last question. You know, I'm always going to hit this one at the end with all guests. What is the biggest piece of advice you can leave off to all our listeners today in one single sentence?
Do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and what's going to make you happy, regardless of what everyone else says. Do what makes you happy and do it because you want to do it.
Love it, guys. Do what makes you happy and do it because you want to do it, regardless of what anybody else says. Guys, I know you know where to find Josh. I know you know where to connect with Josh. But, Josh, if you want to just throw it in there, throw it in there.
I'm not gonna give like a little clout shout out to myself, but I am gonna say like
do it.
I love all you guys. I love you, Mendez, Kirsten, Markowitz. Now taking over for me, Brian. I love all of our listeners, most importantly, right? Thank you guys for the past 1.5 years of support. Wouldn't have been able to do all the amazing things and bring on the amazing people that we have without you guys, most importantly. So with that being said, peace out.
Much love. Guys, for this one, what I want you guys to do after this is just go and show Josh love. Go to him and just comment on his page. Show him love. DM him. Show him as much love as you can at the end of this podcast. We really appreciate that, guys. Honestly, really, really would. And guys, till the next time when we have Josh on here in the future. Love you, bro. Sweat it out. Let's get it, baby.